So guys, we are done with our case laws, and not only the case laws, we are done in fact with the entire session with all the modules. And obviously now, before giving a final pause to our session to the fundamentals of contract, before ending it formally, just let us recapitulate, just let us summarize the entire session in just mere 5 or 7 minutes hardly. It won't take more, guys. And let us have a look to what things we have covered, what was the entire session all about. Guys, in the very first module, which was about what? Which was, of course, that was a basics of contract. So we have seen that it could be traced back to the 6000 BC. And we have also seen a brief history about the personal laws, in the inferences in personal laws, that is Hindu law and Muslim law as well. And we have seen a little bit about the brief facts about the Indian Contract Act, that what kind of contract, when it was constituted, and of course how many acts were originally in that contract, and why it was detached, how Partnership Act and Sales of Goods Act were detached. And also the most important, the most interesting point of that module was that we have seen the syllogism of the term contract and agreement through the Venn diagram. So that was all about in the first module. And the next module, we have started with the definitions of contract. We have started with 8 different definitions of the different viewpoints, not about the jurist only, but the different viewpoints given the law dictionaries and the Quebec Civil Code or the French Civil Code, and we analyzed it. What we have seen, we are not going to, guys, don't worry, we are not going to just rephrase all those definitions, but just what we have seen common, universal accepted term of all the definitions of contract was that there has to be an agreement, and the other one, the enforceability by law. And apart from this, we have also seen a varieties of contract along with their definitions. So the definition part could not have been complete if we would not have covered all those practically entered contract, like whether be it on the basis of their creation, be on the basis of their performance, and so on. Like we discussed about expressed and implied contract, the e-contract, of course, and the tacit contract, of course, which is the form of the implied contract, and the quasi contract also. And we have also seen the executed and executory contracts and many more. Not only this, we also had a detailed analysis of section 2H, what it's provided. So that was all about the definition part. We covered these things, and then came the next module 3, which you can't forget. Obviously that was a bit exhaustive, and I too accept it. I cannot deny that I stretched that module a bit long, but guys, that was the list of do's and don'ts. And I have already told you that whether be it a school, be it your mama and kid, and be it your college and hostel, in fact, the do's and don'ts are always very exhaustive and a very long one. So accordingly, that was the heart of the entire session, in fact entire course, the do's and don'ts, the legal valid essential elements. So everything, in fact, the gist of entire session, or the gist of entire essential validity of contract is module 3. Now in module 3, we have seen many things, that it has to be a bilateral one, cannot be a unilateral, and of course it is there has to be an offer and acceptance as well, and there has to be consideration as well, the lawful consent as well, the lawful object, lawful consent not, it can be better, I use the term free consent, and the lawful object, and the certainty of the agreement, and of course the legal formalities, which was an additional clause provided for section 10. Obviously the Contract Act does not talk about the legal formalities. Those enough valid essentials are enough if they are complied with, but if some other law asks for those legal formalities, that also has to be done. And then finally we have seen few list of between section 24 to 30 about the agreements which are expressly declared void, which shall not be entered into knowingly or unknowingly. So that was all about module 3. And then we came to module 4, a pretty short one, of course, the capacity to contract, and that was of course a valid element also of module 3, but we kept it, I thought I should kept it all together in a different module, though a pretty short one, but obviously module 3 was on what things to be entered, and module 4 is about who is the person to enter, to act or to do or not to do those things. So that was about the party, basically the capability of the party to contract. We have seen there the minor, the sound person, and the unsound person, and the person disqualified by law. So that was not very long, and that was very interesting, of course. And the next module, that is module 5th, was what? That was the contract and the business world. We have seen the relevancy of Contract Act in the business world, and also we have seen practically entered contracts in the business world, whether be it a franchise or a dealership or a merger acquisition and many more. That the list was exhaustive, and just we had a brief few quick point explanation of those. And then finally the last module, that this one, we had the study case law studies, and I hope that was very interesting, and it would not have taken much of your time and effort. So all the best for your MCQs, assessments and assignment, and you are supposed to make go through all those MCQs in the 5 modules, and of course you need to write in 500 word assignment on the topic no consideration, no contract. That's a very simple topic I have just put for it assignment, put for your assignment. But there can be a creativity, you can prove your creativity, your mindset in those 500 words. Words limits are very important, guys. So this was all about my session, my fundamentals of contract. So goodbye and stay tuned for next courses.